all welcome. I'm gonna take you on a little trip through a music style that they call the blues. Starting in the Mississippi Delta, spread through Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, make its way up to Memphis, Tennessee, up to Chicago and Detroit. Going down to the Delta, gonna have myself some fun. I'm going down to the Delta, pretty girls, everyone. I'm gonna get myself some catfish, love some barbecue. I'm going down to the Delta, that's what I do. Come on everybody, take a little ride, yeah, with me. We're gonna do some fishing, we're gonna have some fun right down the Mississippi Delta. Oh, everyone, grab yourself some catfish, some barbecue. Oh, get back, I'm gonna play some blues, yeah, right now. Come on, take a ride with me. Welcome. Holmes Beach Library, this is great. I'm always down here on the beach playing a lot of different clubs, and it's nice to just break down and play blues music and just talk about the blues music, where it came from. I was very lucky to, you go on my website or on YouTube, Google, you see some pictures. I play with an old guy named Honey Boy Edwards, David Edwards, and he made it to 96. And it's always, where did the blues come from? You'll see Son House talks about, and I like what Son House says about the blues being just about a man and a woman, about relationship, about love, that everything else is pretty much monkey jump. Now, interesting thing about Honey Boy Edwards, because the blues really started getting very popular again. There was a big revival with the folk scene in this early 60s, but then it was, a lot of the English bands. Alexis Corner brought a lot of Big Bill Broomsey and people like that, and Little Richard and Bo Diddley. A lot of guys were going to England, so people like the Rolling Stones and the Beatles, they found a lot of the records, and Zeppelin did all. Everybody started like just taking old blues records and coming up with different riffs. So it's pretty interesting on how it all evolved, the musical style. But the thing that Honey Boy Edwards told me, he said, listen, everybody's all excited about blues music, and all blues really was a dance. He said, people would, it was just like, sort of like, we remember the Macarena, you've had like different dances. What are some of the other dances? Everybody's got like little, so the blues was like people would just like do this dance. The Lindsay Hop, you got a lot of so anyway, that's That's what he said. So I was kind of, I like that instead of like hearing a lot of stuff, because everybody's always, and I'll do my Mississippi Wind song in a little while here, my tribute to a lot of blues music, but very interesting on how how music evolved. Now, I'm gonna pick up the cigar box guitar and show you a little bit on how some of the early instruments. So it's very interesting. Every year I do the New Orleans Cigar Box Guitar Festival, and it's done at the Jazz Museum in New Orleans, and they have a lot of the early instruments. Like the guitar I had is similar to like the Martins, the Gibsons. It was really expensive to get a good guitar back in the 20s. Guitars like that, they were not really affordable. Like today, you got so many stuff from overseas. So a lot of the blues guys would take cigar boxes. This is actually my brand, but I've got another cigar box we'll show in a second. They would take a cigar box, or they'd take an oil can, shovels, broom handles, and make instruments out of it because it was too expensive. Now, a popular thing that they would do they didn't have amplifiers like we have right now. I mean, so they had to be able to project the sound of the instruments. That's why we have resonator guitars, and they take banjos and use them to play blues because they would project a louder style. I'm sorry I didn't bring in the resonator today, but the slide. So a lot of times they would take their vocal style, and Mississippi Fred McDowell, Son House, a lot of these guys they would go to I'm a boy, long, long way from home. I'm a poor boy, I'm a long, long way from home. You got a boy that carry my business on. Seven. So this is the old Mississippi Delta blues, North Mississippi Hill Country. Take two, sorry. This chord's kind of bad. You didn't have to worry about chords back, that's good. Texas, my feet got soaked away. I went all the way from Dallas, Texas, oh, my feet got soaked away. And listen to what breathe in my heart, now boys, I never will forget. I'm a
Very good. I love the cigar box guitar.
About that, because this is a very interesting thing about blues and cigar box guitars. We're pretty close here. If you notice now, this has got 2, 2, and 2. Okay, so in Cuba, there's an instrument called the tre. It's spelled T-R-E-S. Some people call it tres. Some people call it the tre. So at that time, before the French colonies, there was a lot of, in the early 1800s, there was a lot of trade between Havana and New Orleans. So the instrument, a lot of cigar boxes would end up in New Orleans because they would make guitars out of it. And then you'll see some of the early, and because this was a tuning that they used in Cuba, they became pretty popular in New Orleans. So it's sort of like a mandolin tuning. You got sorry, this heat's really starting to change everything around. Yeah, sounds great. more thing about this is a theme I've been doing, and if you go on YouTube, you'll see I've recorded this many times over. This is called this is a song. This was actually written by my buddy Jerry Jackala, Mississippi Winds, and this is a lot different than his original version. But that's sort of what you do. You take music and you change it and you know, make your own arrangements. So this is all about. Well, I'll sing it so you can see. Let's all right, let's start out with. Mississippi Delta. Cotton fields. Life. Early 1900s. The birth of the blues, where the music was born. Pain. Racism. Injustice. Poverty. You can still hear the music when the winds blow in Mississippi. The legends of the blues, Robert Johnson, Skip James, Mississippi Fred McDowell, Robert Johnson. Their bodies are gone, but they've left behind the music. And when the Mississippi winds blow, you can hear it in the wind. When I first got down to Mississippi, people, I had some spirits to frown. When I first got down to Mississippi, people, Lord, I had some spirits to find. Well, the Mississippi wind blow the blues through my mind. Well, the Mississippi wind blow the blues through my mind. When that cotton fields they surround me, when I'm driving down Highway 49. When that cotton fields they surround me, yeah. Way down, oh, way down on Highway 49. Well, the Mississippi and a smile at a time. Driving down the highway since the road, load a song and a smile at a time. Well, the Mississippi wind blow the blues through my mind. Well, the Mississippi wind blow the blues, all the blues through my mind. Well, the Mississippi wind, I love a way to blow. Well, the hotter they howl, the more blues I get to know. Mississippi winds keep blowing, never let the past dissolve. Blues will always be alive as you blow. There you go. You know, the big thing that really got the Delta blues going is the before the what do they call it, the cotton mill. You know, everybody used to pick cotton, so they needed slave laborers to, you know, and literally slave laborers. I mean, there was a lot of injustices. You know, we had a lot of slavery, and yeah. So you know, the music it was one thing they could do. Well, what was an interesting thing is that they would have the drums. A lot of them would, because a lot of came from different tribes in Africa, so a lot of them would still be able to communicate through drum beats. And the slave owners, a lot of people didn't realize that, so that was a big thing. Remember, there wasn't a lot of back then. They didn't have guys like Lead Belly, Sunhouse. They would, because people always say, well, here, let me play without. You know, they would have a resonator, and you'd have to sing really loud because they didn't have PAs. Now you know people get last night at Skipper Smokehouse, they got 10 monitors, and it's we don't need that many monitors. The girls, all of us sing pretty loud, but back so. Here, I want to do the foot either. Come on, nothing. Man, I ain't going down there. Big roll by myself. Well, I ain't going down there. Big roll by myself. If I ain't gonna take it, baby, Lord, don't take nobody else. Well, the sun is on the rise, mama. Whoa, let's sing it low. I got a miserable old feeling. Booked them out ago, and now I ain't going down. Big road by myself. If I ain't gonna take a girl, I ain't gonna have to care somebody else. So that's how they would play. They didn't have all this PA stuff. Now look, I got loopers and all sorts of great stuff, but they'd have to project. That's why Lead Belly was so great. Lead Belly had the 12-string Stella, and he had a big guy, huge voice that way, because you got 200 people dancing in a little music hall. You got to make, and so they would use banjos and things that would project, because there was no PAs. When I was a kid. Anyway. All right, so everybody started going from Mississippi. The Industrial Revolution was starting to happen in Chicago, Detroit. What was that? I should know the history. The gin mill. Well, who made that? Whitney or was Eli Whitney? Eli Whitney. Yeah. So the gin mill came about, and then all of a sudden, they didn't need, like what's going on today with AI and robotics. It's the same thing. They're just replacing human labor. So there was a big car industry in Detroit, Indiana had all the steel mills, and people started going up north. But before they got up there, they went to a place called Memphis, Tennessee, because Memphis was still on the Mississippi River, and a lot of stuff was being shipped back up. It was a big shipping lane before all the trucks and stuff. So Memphis became a hot spot for musicians, and it just became like the center of the whole thing. It's like either Shanghai or I don't know, I'm trying to think of other cities, but that was a big jumping point. So there's a lot of guys would go up there and work the clubs, and a lot of the more the finger picking style like this. Piano was still very popular. You had guys, Albert Ammons, Meade Lux Lewis, the stride piano. So the piano was still more popular than guitar, and because you could hear it better with amplifiers. So a lot of the guys started imitating, guitars and trying to do the piano line with their like what I'm doing, like. Finger picking, and out of that whole camp spurned guys like Big Bill Broomsey, Furry Lewis. We talked about Reverend Gary Davis a little earlier, and a lot of the songs, it was about love or drinking whiskey or So the record company started getting pretty popular at that time. Document. Testament. They were actually pretty much called race records. So they were trying to cater towards, you know, the African American culture. So they'd buy the records, and they would come up with all these like pretty cool graphics, you know, the Masked Marvel, and they would re-release people like Charlie Patton under different names, and just to make money on these guys. And a lot of it started recording in Mississippi, H.C. Spears record store, and then Memphis they started recording, and then actually had up in Wisconsin, believe it or not, in Grafton, they had the furniture company had a lot of it. So they would, you know, bring people all the way up to Wisconsin and in Chicago. And so anyway, this is a song by Sonny Boy Williamson. Should we do whiskey or let's instead of whiskey, let's do. Excited about that wedding ring. When I come down to marriage now, Stevie, it was gonna mean a thing. I was dealing with the devil. I was dealing with the devil. I was dealing with the devil. And little girl, she don't love me no more. Well, that girl, she go to bed at night. I stay right there. Lord, she fights in her dreams with another man. I was dealing with the devil. I was dealing with the devil. I was dealing with the devil. And the girl, she don't love me no more. Ain't going down there. Been all by myself. If I don't take a little girl, I won't care someone else. Lord, I was dealing with the devil. I was dealing with the devil. I was dealing with the devil. The little girl, she don't love me no more. Sonny Boy Williamson. So, and that's about 1942. So a lot of the a lot of the guys in Memphis started moving up north. So you had John Lee Hooker. Does everybody know John Lee Hooker? John Lee Hooker was a great blues guy. He came up with the boogie beats. What do you call it? Takes a lot from George Thorogood, if you know who George Thorogood is. Let me tell you now for the kind people, something you really ought to know. Let me tell you now something the kind people that you really ought to know. You got a boogie in your heart, boogie in your shoes, boogie right down. I got a old boogie blues. You got a boogie all night long. All boogie children. when he went up to Detroit and started the whole, a lot of the Detroit, and then of course Chicago. So Chicago, wow, that's where it was really happening. We had Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters came up started as a truck driver, and these guys got day jobs, and they took a lot of the Mississippi blues and then electrified. All of a sudden you started getting drums, you started getting bands, and you just, all of a sudden. We didn't have enough room to bring a whole band, and so I also need a bass player, bigger drum kit than my foot. Harmonica. Short versions today because we don't have all the time. We're almost out of time already, and I want to thank everybody for coming down. Any questions? We only made it to Chicago blues, but after that, in the '60s, there was a lot of people like Magic Sam. You had B.B. King and Freddie King. Got more electrified after that. All of a sudden, it was really cool because like Billy Graham at the Fillmore. A lot of those guys, you look at those posters, you had, like the Grateful Dead, and you had Jefferson Airplane, and a lot of the popular bands, but they always had like blues guys out there. You see Albert King, Freddie King, Buddy Guy and Junior Wells. Even it was great that, at Woodstock you had the Butterfield Blues Band. Blues still was pretty popular, and it kind of died down for a while until the Blues Brothers movie. By the way, if you look at the Blues Brothers movie, you'll see John Lee Hooker in the street playing. He's one of the guys they brought back. It was nice. Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi really helped a lot. Bring that sort of a comedy movie, but it's very historical too. It's really interesting and really brought a lot of. Because I just graduated college, and it was like all of a sudden everybody wanted a blues band. Before that, even in college, I was 82 at a University of Florida, but even like in 81, we had Muddy Waters come to the University of Florida to perform because everybody saw him and everybody saw the movie. All of a sudden everybody, blues was like, wow, Animal House helped it out a little bit with, they go on the shout, but then the Blues Brothers movie really just brought the blues back into the forefront. And blues still is still popular today. A lot of there's the you see last night I had a 26-year-old guitar player. You heard a little bit of, CJ play, and there's young kids that are playing blues, and it's still a popular style of music. And we've got the Suncoast Blues. I want to thank the Suncoast Blues Society for sponsoring this. They're online here, and I've done these blues in the schools. I travel. I'll be in Belgium doing a cigar box seminar with another guy, all about cigar boxes and different tunings. It gets a little bit more technical. You don't want to know all that stuff, but and then we have in Switzerland we have the Cigar Summit, in the Cigar Box Guitar Summit, and we got you're welcome to come next year. There's instrument builders. It's pretty funny, you got like the guy builds get all sorts of instruments out of all sorts of different things, and it's really cool. Get all these builders from Italy, Switzerland, France, and musicians that make all sorts of stuff. That's pretty good, and I keep pretty active doing this. So I want to thank you all for coming down today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions, or? All right, well, did you have any questions? Did I do okay? Good, I'm happy. I didn't know if I was going to be okay. At your home speech, I have me here. Blues in the library. Come on out there. I want to thank you people for coming on by. I know it's hot, man, and here it's cool. We're going to have a groovy summer where the snow was too. Where did they go? Come on down. We're going to have a good time. All right, let's loop it now. Where's that guy? Always end on a high note.